Okay, so when we're going up the strings, we're doing string shape fifths. So we start the C's, fifth of C is G, the fifth of G is the D string shape, the fifth of the D string shape's A string shape, the fifth of the A string shape's E string shape, the fifth of the E string shape is C again. But on our way down, we go in fourths. So we go C string shape. The fourth of the C is, we call it the E string shape, not F. It's going to be E string shape. Now we're back to regular fourths. So we go the fourth of the E string shape's the A string shape, fourth of the A is the D string shape, fourth of the D is the G string shape, fourth of the G is the C string shape again. And you can use the acronym. So it's Chuck's good dog always eats chow. And then we got Chuck eats all day good Chuck. Okay? So that's pretty fun. I got it right. Pat on the back. Alright, so I want to show you something here. There's a road sign. Okay, and it says, here's my road sign. See, because I'm getting into a little game, flight simulator game, and I might be having that on my YouTube channel, so I don't have to start a new channel. It'll be on a playlist. It'll be like Andy's Flight Sim 20, Micro Flight Sim 2020, and we're gonna have some fun with that. But right now, want to focus on what I feel qualified to, teach us. So I made this sign, in the spirit of the simulator, and it says convert cages string by string, method and an exercise. Okay, so when I say method, I mean you can use it on the fly, or it's an exercise. So certainly it's easier. You start with it as an exercise. As you gain confidence, you can use it as a method. Here's a road sign: convert string cages. Convert cages string by string. Convert the cage string by string using the string shapes. Now, how do we do that? Look at this diagram here. This is interesting. And then, of course, there's the other method. Before we jump into this, I don't want to confuse you, but for the fourth pentatonic or triad, okay, it's not going to work on the diatonic unless you want to go into a new key. All right? Which is something like doing something like this. Okay, so when we start on the third here, and then like that, I went into the key of F there. Okay, so we could always it work when you deal with just the pentatonic or the triad. You don't have to worry about the fourth and the seventh with the pentatonic, and with the triad you don't have to worry about the fourth, the seventh, the second, or the sixth. So it's just a triad. Root 3/5. Okay, add the second and the sixth and you get pentatonic. Okay, and add the fourth and the seventh and you get the diatonic. Okay, where you got all of the notes. So this method is best used in our case here, because we don't want to change keys. We want to stay in the same key. For the fourth pentatonic or the triad, move the pattern. I think pattern has 2 T's. Up 1 string. New bottom string becomes the fourth of the old bottom string. So if we want to go, if we're in a C shape here, we've got our C diatonic. We move this whole thing, but we're going to move it up and do the pentatonic. So here's the pentatonic. We're going to start a C pentatonic from here. And we have to hit the warp now. We also have to hit the warp. So we go. Alright, so what is it going to become there? It's going to become the fourth of C, which is the diminished fourth, which is E shape. So it's, remember, we're not going to play the E shape diatonic unless we want to go into the key of F. Alright, so similarly, so that works for the pentatonic and for the triads. Believe me, if it works for the pentatonic, it's going to work for the triads. Okay, it's a little trickier to do the triads at this point. And that brings me to another subject that we're talking about individual string shapes. Excuse me. So, now if we're going to go, it says for new fifth pentatonic, move the pattern down. But this only works, I want you to only do this with pentatonic and tritonic. Pentatonic probably first, or else we'll go into the key of the fifth. So we found out with the moving the pattern up, we replace the bottom string with the fourth string shape of the pattern. So C, gonna move this up. What's gonna go here was underneath the C over here before anyway, so it'll become an E shape. Pentatonic. Easy as pie. When we're going to the fifth, so here's the real deal chords. E shape chord for the fourth. Back to the root, right? Now when we go to the fifth, it's going to be G shape, right? So what's the bottom string going to be? The bottom string is going to be G shape, but we're sticking to pentatonic, right, like that. So we replace the bottom string with the fifth. When we go to the fifth, we're going to move the pattern down. The bottom string becomes the fifth. So now we've got the G here. Okay, so we could kind of jump into the circle there a little bit, and G would go to D. So we could just go like good dog eats. Let's see, good dog. Oh, always eats chow. Okay, good dog always. This is the A shape now, and eats chow would be. Okay, that's a C shape. Sorry, messed up there. Alright, so that chuck thing messed me up a little bit. Sorry about that. The theory still holds for the fifth pentatonic or triad. We're doing pentatonic now. Move the pattern down one string, and the new bottom string becomes the fifth string shape. Now notice we're going back here. I know Chuck messed us up. Sorry, Chuck. We messed up doing the acronym, but it would still work. It's just I didn't recognize the patterns doing it in pentatonic. You see, once I hit the warp up there with those with the short patterns, you know, the short pattern stack. So then I tried to go, oh, okay, wait a minute. Well, I know it. This is supposed to be a G pattern, right? But I played a C pattern because I messed up. That's what I did. It happens. It happens. So that's why with guitar, and especially with teaching, make sure that you know, we try to keep it simple and try not to spread out the topic into every, you know, each and every little kind of you know, each and every little digression, let's say, to prove this and to prove that and show how this works and that works. Because let's face it, with guitar, there's a lot of different ways to do the same thing, and you'll need to know those ways.